Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Ejineka.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. I saw you watching Owambe. You know that I'm Akpoko. You're watching Owambe.
I was.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
Perfect. Good morning. Rufy on fire. You know this whole December is over. Oh, yes. December. God bless you, December. Well, all right. Well, good morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending. On Tuesday, December 17th, politicians and lawmakers, including a former governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, and Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, paid a surprise visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari at his home in Daura, Katsina State, to celebrate his 82nd birthday. Well, here is a video shared on X showing the former president being welcomed with a happy birthday song. Let's take a look.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
A happy birthday, former President Muhammadu Buhari. Ayo, Dr. Abati Rufai, this was trending yesterday. I mean, he did look pleasantly surprised by the visit. A lot of people have congratulated him, including the president, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and of course Peter Obi, and a lot of other dignitaries have congratulated him, of course, because, I mean, he's done his political tenure.
He hooked you for truth.
No, he not hooked me for
he
truth.
Hooked you.
Hold on. All right. Okay.
He's done very well, I mean.
Well, I think he's done his time in politics in Nigeria. Isn't that right, Dr. Abati? I mean, he celebrated his 82nd birthday, and he served twice as president. Before I speak, let me just take all the tributes that have come in. I have a tweet from President Tinubu, a lengthy tweet. I'll try to read it. Dear President Muhammadu Buhari, on behalf of the government and people of Nigeria, I extend my warmest congratulations and best wishes to you on your 82nd birthday. As you celebrate this remarkable milestone in Daura, we reflect on your years of dedicated service and leadership, which have significantly shaped the course of our nation. Your steadfast commitment to Nigeria's advancement and unity inspires many, and your enduring legacy continues to guide our nation's journey towards prosperity and stability. Your doggedness and resilience in contesting presidential elections in 2003, 2007, and 2011 before winning them in 2015 and 2019 also inspire us never to give up. I will continue to build on the infrastructure legacy you bequeathed to our nation as leader of our country's first All Progressives Congress administration. On this special day, may you be surrounded by the love of your family and friends and continue to enjoy good health, happiness, and fulfillment in all your endeavors, now and in the future. Happy birthday, and thank you for your service to Nigeria. With respect and admiration, Bola Tinubu. Of course, President Tinubu has continued to reiterate, Dr. Abati, that he will build on the foundation Buhari left behind. Before I read the other tributes, would you like to comment?
No, go.
Should I?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, take another one. This is for Atiku Abubakar. He wrote, on behalf of my family, I felicitate with former President Muhammadu Buhari on his 82nd birthday. I pray that the Almighty Allah continues to grant you more years in good health and vitality. Peter Obi wrote, Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, as you mark your 82nd birthday anniversary today, on behalf of my family, I sincerely congratulate you. May God Almighty grant you many more healthy and happy years ahead. Happy birthday, President Buhari.
Well, let's join others in wishing the former head of state, former president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari a very happy 82nd birthday.
Yeah.
The President of Nigeria, President Tinubu, ended his tribute on the note that he has had a life of service to Nigeria. And I think that, nobody can argue with that. He fought during the Civil War. He has served this country as a minister of the Federal Republic. He has served this country as the chairman of the Petroleum Trust Development Fund. He has served as a military head of state, and he has returned again as a civilian president from 2015 to 2023. In other words, he's an elder statesman, one of those who have helped in the making of Nigeria. And there's no way the history of this country will be written, and the role of General Buhari in that history will not be written. For partisan reasons, some people may have different opinions about his performance, particularly in his second coming. But, that's what happens to men of history. A proper accounting will be done one way or the other. Yesterday, I read two pieces by his former spokesman, one by Femi Adesina, who talked about him being a friend of the poor, and also took special note of the fact that President Buhari was a man who managed the COVID-19 crisis, and it was under his watch that Nigeria was shut down, to secure the people, to make this country safe. At a time, the whole international community was facing a global health crisis, otherwise known as a pandemic. Again, nobody can argue with that. As for the other details in Femi Adesina's piece, calling him Oremekunu, a friend of the poor, where questions have not yet been resolved about what happened to the National Social Register and the distribution of food in schools at a time when the same schools were shut down. But that's for historians to talk about. Now, Garuba Shehu also wrote a piece under my column yesterday at the back page of This Day, where he was also praising his former boss. But what I found questionable in Garuba Shehu's own was he making big heavy weather out of the fact that, since President Buhari left office, he has stayed away from Abuja. He is not disturbing the current president. He's unlike, President Obasanjo, who is always writing letters to whoever is in power at the center. Well, I thought that was an unnecessary, overkill. Right. If you want to praise your boss, praise him. We wish him many more years of service to the Nigerian community, to humanity at 82. And we congratulate him. Yes. And we hope he had a nice day yesterday.
We hope so too.
With our former governor in Ogun State, with his skyscraper cap and all the distinguished...
It's a signature cap, yes.
Skyscraper,
I like that. Yes.
It's a skyscraper
I like
cap.
It.
And all the distinguished gentlemen and women who went to honor him. I think they did well.
All right. A quick second.
All right, okay. I'm a happy birthday to former President Muhammadu Buhari. But the honest truth is that for a number of Nigerians, it evokes very bad memories. It's not nice to, on a day of celebration to bring back, but the truth is that we cannot rewrite history.
Yes, who are you?
This man, this president, plunged Nigeria into the economic woes that we face today. Right. And so let us not butter it up and of course his supporters and people who benefited will say very nice things. Those who've, said very nice things about him ought to be polite. Yes. But the truth is that the reason why sometimes we have leaders who perform badly and don't feel ashamed is that we don't call them out oftentimes. Mm-hmm. They leave office and it's as if we have amnesia of what they did or how they performed in office. Mm-hmm. The Tinubu administration itself has talked about how the bad economy they inherited from the previous administration is what they're still dealing with at the moment. He looks very fresh at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't say that for many Nigerians. He's living well at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't say that for many Nigerians. Mm-hmm. It's time we spoke up the truth about the way that some of these past leaders mismanaged the economy. Right. With regards to President Olusegun Obasanjo writing letters, I think that's even a better approach. At least it shows that he has more interest in the country and in the progress of Nigeria as a nation. So happy birthday, President Muhammadu Buhari. But unfortunately, a lot of Nigerians, when they see you, it doesn't evoke very pleasant memories. That's the truth. All right.
Well said, Ayo. Well, I mean, you've just hit the nail on the head on, several comments from a lot of Nigerians, especially the comment by President Tinubu where he said he would love to build on the infrastructure legacy that he left behind. I mean, all right, before I come to you, Rufai, let me take this story in Delta State, where the governor, Sheriff Oborevwori, has called on residents to support President Bola Tinubu, stating that if the president fails, he would fail. The governor made the remark during a state function while addressing the people of Delta State. Let's take a look.
I want to appeal to Orobo Nation today. I'm saying it here. I'm an Orobo man. I'm governor for Delta State. But I will tell you, whether you like it or not, I want to say it here. Mr. President that you see is supporting this administration. God has made him the president as God has made me the governor. So as you are supporting me, support him. Because if he fail, I will fail. But he will not fail, I will not fail. Mr. President has appointed our sons and daughters into position. God has given him victory. God has given him victory. People should support us to succeed.
Rufai, I don't know if I can comment on my governor, my state governor, but I mean, is he a PDP governor or
He's a PDP.
Is he a PDP governor? Should I commend him or I mean, go ahead.
He's a PDP president.
He's a PDP governor. Okay.
You talked about something then.
Yes.
You see, that's the lackluster way at which we deify leaders in this country and we deify them into non-performance. That's just it. I mean, when you look at it, and that's a very good one as regards Muhammadu Buhari, I would have said even worse, you know. Yeah, it's his birthday, you want to spare him all of this, but a man that took an economy that was over close to 500 billion and destroyed it. He just pretty much destroyed the economy and we should, okay, it's fine. As regards him, if he failed, I will fail. What does he mean by that at first? Hope they will not come and say he didn't say that before, it's AI.
No, it's not AI.
It's not AI.
No.
If he fail, I will fail.
Yeah.
Yes, I know in the overarching thought process, it will be like, oh, if President Tinubu fails, we all fail. But no. Mm-hmm. President Tinubu makes his decision by himself. You as a governor, you make your decision by yourself. The question we should ask you, Oborevwori, what have you been able to do to improve the prospect of people of Delta? Mm-hmm. So President Tinubu's failing standard is not a reflection of you.
Yeah.
I know you are trying to rally troops to support him, but no. Face yours. And you see, this is what we keep talking about states. States forget that they are a subnational on their own. And a lot of people will feed through them. You've got local government, you've got every paraphernalia of power. Why don't you use to improve the lives of people? Mm-hmm. And the federal went ahead to say that he employed our sons and daughters. So it does, because he employed your sons and daughters, does that mean we should go and worship him?
Yeah.
Are you saying your sons and daughters do not merit it?
Yes.
You see, this way at which we bow down and go to kiss the ring for leaders and do all sorts, kiss their foot.
Yeah.
See, as regards President Tinubu today, he has a lot of economic policies that are failing Nigerians.
So this is the thing that I want to ask you, Rufai. I mean, on one hand, he's saying that we should support President Tinubu. I mean, in what way? Because we did hear that he also condemned some of his economic policies. Where are we? What am I missing something?
It goes back to the way we change. When somebody is trying to do eye service,
okay,
and is caught up in a mix, that's what you get.
Yeah.
You want to be for the people. And at the same time, because of the eye service you are doing, they say, let's all support him. So that when they now take that video, when they send the video via WhatsApp to political groups, they will say, I'm still supporting him.
All right.
Let's learn to call a spade a spade. The reason why things have not been working in Nigeria is because we've not told our leaders, which are particularly the problem of this country, that they should do better for this country. Nigeria is a blessed country, but it has funny leaders. That's just the pure and simple. So all this one is just a case of a man trying to speak with two sides of the mouth and all of that. He's trying to do eye service. He's caught in a quandary.
He is. All right. But it's good that, he's saying, calling for people to support, the government. Sometimes, I mean, it is great to be able to, rally people around to support some great initiative by the state and federal governments. Well, all right. We'll take another story now. The Governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke on Tuesday granted pardon to Olowookere Segun, who was sentenced to death by hanging for stealing a fowl and eggs when he was 17 years old. Social media was awash with reactions after a video surfaced online showing Segun's parents narrating the story of their son. The mother said her son was said to have broken into the house of a police officer in April 2010 and carted away some of his belongings. He was subsequently charged with conspiracy and robbery and was sentenced to death. Governor Adeleke, upon receiving the news, granted the pardon in a statement shared on X. Let's read Adeleke's tweet there. He wrote, "I have received the report of a case of a young man reportedly sentenced to death by hanging in Osun State for stealing a fowl. Consequently, I have directed the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Osun State, to commence full investigation into the matter and initiate process to grant prerogative of mercy to the young man. Osun is a land of justice and equity and must ensure fairness and protection of the sanctity of lives. I assure members of the public that this matter is receiving my direct attention with every sense of urgency also attached to our response to this matter." Dr. Abati, when I saw the story trending online, I was shocked. I mean, there is a law in Nigeria that would sentence people to death because of stealing a fowl. A fowl and eggs. They didn't say anything else, so fowl and eggs.
Well, I got some clarification. When I watched the interview with Biola Adebayo, with the parents of the gentleman, apparently in this particular matter, there was no case of murder because, the death penalty is for capital punishment. And then for somebody to steal an ordinary fowl, and then you sentence the person to death, is quite very strange.
Yeah.
And I think it's something also that the judiciary may want to investigate, except that this matter was about 14 years ago. We were told that the gentleman stole the fowl 14 years ago, and he has spent 14 years in prison custody. So this just tells you about the distortions in this country, the injustice that we have in this country. People who steal billions are all over the place collecting chieftaincy titles. They have national honors. They are not in jail. It's a man that steals a fowl. One governor, I will not name him in order not to compound his agony out of office. Somebody stole his phone, common phone, and then the person was sent to prison. And the thing about justice is that even when you commit a crime, the punishment should be proportional, to the crime that you have committed. Now to Governor Adeleke. I think Governor Adeleke has taken a good decision by asking the Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice to investigate this, to find out the circumstances. And he has already made it clear that he's going to address the matter because justice will seem not to have been done in this case. And he has the power under the Constitution, Section 212 of the 1999 Constitution, gives governors the powers either to reduce sentences or to outrightly pardon inmates. This is a man who has been put in a prison for stealing a fowl. In fact, when he comes out, maybe the Legal Aid Council or lawyers who are ready to do a pro bono intervention should reopen the case and say that this man deserves to be compensated.
Absolutely.
How much were they selling a common fowl 14 years ago? Although you may say, when you commit a crime, it doesn't matter what the amount is. Fowl 14 years ago will be like, how much? Not up to, it wouldn't even be up to 1,000 naira. And a person's life has been wasted for 14 years. I think, he deserves to be compensated beyond, Governor Adeleke saying that he will grant pardon, because this is clearly a case of miscarriage of justice.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you just highlighted that, because I really wanted to hear your perspective on the story. Well, it's all boils down to this miscarriage of justice. But before I come to you, I know in another development, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has banned arbitrary arrests, detentions, and phone searches of road users by police officers across Nigeria. The directive was issued on Tuesday. Egbetokun warned that such unlawful practices tarnish the image of the police and vowed severe punishment for offenders, including commissioners of police and their supervisors. I thought to tie this story in because obviously the young boy who was sentenced to death in Osun State, I mean, it's because he stole from a police officer. And I think that really is one of the reasons why. And it's good that the Inspector General of Police here has made this announcement, because how often do you see these people coming into your car, searching your phone? How can you invade your privacy and all of that? A quick comment quickly before
very quick one.
on both stories.
Very good one there, and I'm really glad about the governor coming. He was tagged a lot of times yesterday about this case, and it's great to see that he said an investigation be conducted. I totally agree with compensation being paid, and maybe even finding out who the officer was or who were the people that managed the case as to upholding an abuse of power, because this is what it amounts to. I don't think there's any law whereby stealing would warrant the death penalty, and then stealing of a fowl, how much? That ought to be done. Now, with the IG of police coming out to say this, I think this is fantastic development. But we've often heard announcements like this, but no follow through, especially with regards to implementation. So one thing is, I hope that it will be cascaded down to all the officers in the police force, and then number two, a channel for reporting, so that we, if anyone falls victims, because he really talked about the youth, and I'm really glad that we're protecting the interests of young people in Nigeria, that there's a portal or a channel to report infractions, and that this will be taken up, and a few officers will be made an example of, so that we can really see this policy or this directive come to life.
Absolutely.
It's very important about that. Then beyond that as well, even the IG of police himself and the police as a whole, and I know we have a story about high-handedness, this picking up people, Gestapo style, picking up people, that needs to be addressed as well.
Yes.
We've talked about the police reform. It's a step at a time. This is a good move. And very importantly, everyone should screen grab this announcement.
Yes.
If the police comes to you, just show it to them, because sometimes they seem to be the last people to get the information that things have changed. So really good one there by the IG of police.
Very good. I love that you started off by congratulating the Osun State governor. Still in Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke has launched a free medical and surgical outreach program targeting 25,000 beneficiaries. Well, on Tuesday, hundreds of Osun residents gathered at Ashu Biaro Hospital to access free medical and surgical services. It's all part of his Imole rollout plan to help the needy. Rufai, this is exactly the same thing that we were congratulating you for the other day.
To Governor Adeleke.
Adeleke is doing very well.
Jaxi is doing well. Jaxi is doing well.
Yes.
But I just wanted to, say something. Apart from this, I also hear that he has put in place a health insurance, which is very important. And I think one other way to be able to bolster that health insurance in the state is to be able to get like an endowment scheme.
Yes.
Let companies around, give them a chance to be able to invest in this health insurance.
Yes.
Because if you make the pool bigger, then you'll be able to do a whole lot more for people. And it shows that he has a heart for people.
Absolutely.
And that's why, I'm not saying he gets everything right all the time. Sometimes, he wobbles on some things, but as regards this, his heart for people, you cannot deny. And that's what he also did with that guy that was putting me there. I mean, how can you put somebody there for 14 years? 14 years. Because, and we have people that the evidence is so stacked against them. You can see them, they are shielding themselves. Anyway, African China has said it. He said, poor man wasting money, they go see him face for crime fighter. Rich man, they have to see their face for crime fighter. Right. So the system is just rigged against the poor.
Absolutely.
All of this is caused by the leadership. So we have to go back to the leadership. And you were talking about the IG, it's a good thing. But I know there will still be police officers in this country that will still search your phone. That will still say that will not concern you. That will still brutalize people.
Yes.
And that's why the IG needs to look in. And also, Mr. IG, there's a case, so I've been hearing, Shore has been shouting about this nurse, Olamide, They said it involves the police top echelon and all of that. Please look into that case. Let justice and also mercy prevail.
All right.
Please. Two wrongs cannot make a right.
Well
Mr.
said,
IG.
Rufai. Well said, Rufai. Again, well, kudos to the Governor of Osun State for that great intervention. And we hope to see the end of this story and hope the young man be released. We'll take another story. Well, in the same vein, actually, Senator Remi Tinubu has donated 1.9 billion naira to support the welfare of elderly citizens across Nigeria's 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The initiative, which is part of the Renewed Hope Initiative, aims to uplift citizens aged 65 and above as part of the administration's social investment programs. Again, we are seeing the First Lady in action. This is a great season to actually give. And I love this initiative, especially the fact that it is to the elderly. Most of these people are disabled. Most of these people have been forgotten. And the First Lady has started this great initiative. Ayo, I love it. Really quickly.
All right, so let me focus on what's good about it, which is that, like you said, a lot of people are going through very difficult times at this time. And the First Lady has consistently been generous, especially responding to disasters, hardships in different parts of the country without prejudice as to what area, which is really great. 1.9 billion naira. This is not just going to widows, it's also going to some veterans in the army and some older people, wives, widows of some veterans. And so that's really, really great that they are remembered at this time. 200,000 naira and some palliatives would go a long way to help these people. And so, so far the Renewed Hope Initiative has been very, very impactful. And just to say that, the reward for good work is more work. Let's hope that she would continue to spread this joy. But more importantly, as people would say, is that beyond handing out, and I think this is just a stopgap in the interim, a safety net. Beyond giving people handouts, what Nigerians want is empowerment. So that we are not in a situation whereby we need to consistently be giving donations and giving things. So whilst this is a stopgap, whilst to get our economy together, let's hope that she would also encourage her husband, to ensure that the country is in such a way that people don't need handouts to survive. Right. We are able to really go out there, work, and we have an enabling environment to succeed. All right. Very, very great. I mean, Dr. Bati, do you want to say something before I go to this story here on Remi Tinubu's initiative?
Just to ask you a question. Yes. I mean, the First Lady, as I said, has been very supportive of her husband. I've quoted Proverbs 18, verse 22. On this program to say who finds a good wife finds a good thing and finds favor in the eyes of the Lord. So for President Tinubu to have a very supportive wife is a very good thing. And all the efforts she's making under Renewed Hope Initiative and the support that she's also giving in the education sector, on the surface of it, no complaints, commendable. However, the question to ask is, this Renewed Hope Initiative seems to be better funded than some parastatals of government. So where is the money coming from? This is the question. 1.9 billion. The other day, she promised to build something at Obafemi Awolowo University. The other day, rice and other materials were being distributed in many states of the Federation. So Renewed Hope Initiative seems to be involving to the better funded or the best funded, let's be superlative about it. Yeah. That it will be the concern of Nigerians. Yeah. Where is the money coming from? Yeah. Is she spending her personal funds? Yeah. Is Renewed Hope Initiative going to be audited? Yeah. If support is coming from the private sector, we just need transparency. Absolutely. To know where the money is coming from. Absolutely. Because tomorrow now, we hear Mrs. Tinubu has donated a 5 billion worth of investment in another part of Nigeria. Absolutely. Why the support is good, comes from the heart, is good, but we need to know where the money is coming from. Otherwise, Nigerians will start saying, it is our money.
Very good
you
point.
know, Dr. Bati always hits the nail on the head. But it also shows, it's a fair point.
It's a fair point.
Maybe she can actually teach the government parastatals how to actually generate revenue. I mean,
no, how is she generating money?
That's the question we're asking. That's the question that she's asking.
First,
that's the question we're asking.
Renew Hope Initiative is an NGO.
Yes.
Not for profit.
So let's see her books.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the
but
question.
don't also forget that she said she didn't Nigeria's money, that they are wealthy on their own. So
no, this is not her money. She says it's part of the
donate some.
Okay, she'll take some of her money.
Yeah, she can also. So let's see the books.
All right.
Let's see if she's
transparency, like Dr. Bati has called for. It's nice. But I mean, as always, kudos to the First Lady of Nigeria. She's doing well, Dr. Bati. She's doing well. Well, all right. We'll take another story now. Nigerian comedian and actor Bovi W has come under fire on social media after sharing insights into his parenting approach, emphasizing the importance of understanding and empathy over corporal punishment. Bovi spoke during an interview with the Honest Bunch podcast, which aired on Monday.
I don't advocate for beating children. You should let children be. My son, Chuchu, they break television for the fun of. If he vex, he go, whoa, he would throw stuff and break. So it got
TV don't cost so.
It got to the age where he got to, and I saw the remorse.
I remember that first one where he posted. We get one where he posted one time.
That was the third TV.
So after he broke the first one, you didn't say, he might break the second one. Let's just leave TV for now until, you bought the second one. Okay, did you buy a cheaper one the second time?
No, but thank God for capacity. Do you get? If I couldn't afford another TV, then the approach would have been totally different.
Of say where the money go come from.
Yeah, you know. That's why I tell people, you are very correct. Most times when we hit kids, check, are you really trying to correct them or you are frustrated?
Bovi is asking if it's frustration that is causing the corporal punishment. I mean, that is method of parenting.
Okay, so
Rufy.
There are many parenting methods. I think the disconnect is, a lot of people think the way they parented the generation Xers is the way they will parent the generation, the millennials and the generation, the Gen Zs. For the generation Xers, a lot of them were talked to in slaps. Before you even say anything, pack, 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 pack. That's the group where their parents, they don't spoil the rod, spoil the child. For the millennials, they still chop some slaps, but was not at the magnitude, because then they were already getting exposed to, better parenting method, affirmation training and things like that. Reset and all slap. They got reset slap, but their mothers or fathers started saying, why are you behaving this way, you too? Because as at that time, the generation Xers grew up in the late 80s, the generation, the millennials in the 80s, they were growing up, they were really getting interface of better parenting methods, psychology and things like that. So it's not as much slap and the echo that the collected generation Xers collected.
Okay.
Then the Gen Zs is a whole different ballgame entirely. But like Ira was saying, he made a caveat as regards this. With parenting, no two children are the same. The style that works for a child might not work for the other child. There are some children that growing up, the parenting style for them is when you sit them down and you talk to them. And I'll tell you something like about me, for instance. For me, and this is my trend, my parents never hit me.
Neither my parents.
Guess
my
what?
Parents never hit me
what
either.
My father that said to me, that used to be as though they flog me, is anytime I did something naughty, he would just say, you said you loved me.
Oh.
And that was what we shared. And if he says, and you said you loved me and you did such a thing, that word will hurt me. I will try as much as possible to justify, no, that is not true. But there are some children that one will not hold. Every day you say, but they will move on. So
you
parenting styles differ.
All right. Ayo, you wanted to...
And he actually did correct it. He made that point.
You wanted to clarify that caveat, yes.
My child had a speech impediment,
yes.
a communication problem
yes.
that's only just starting to improve.
Yeah.
So he gave a bit. He said it was in trying to color the language. People took it out of context, but maybe he didn't provide enough context, and that's why it's important important that he mentioned that children, you have to understand your child to parent them properly. So he understood, even though it's not accepted, don't go and use the same format. So if your child is not the same, Bovi allowed them to break 3 times. He gave some context to it that was because the child has some special needs.
All right, it's a big conversation. We've had this sort of conversation before. Well, I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.